Peace and blessings, y'all. How y'all feeling? Happy Thursday and happy Jupiter Day to you guys. I hope that you all are feeling amazing and that you guys are in good spirits today. According to your natal chart, if you want to know how well your body handles stress and or react to stress, simply look to your Mars sign. Okay, look to your Mars sign. Now there are a lot of different factors also that can be seen in your natal chart as to how you react to stress, but look to your Mars sign. Not only do you look to your Mars sign, you want to look to how your Mars is placed. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is what sign the Mars is in. So you want to look at the sign that it's in. You want to look at the degree that it's in. You want to look at the house that the Mars is sitting in. And you want to look at how that Mars is being aspected. And the reason why I say the Mars sign is because Mars represents our body. Okay? Mars represents a lot of different things. But more importantly, Mars represents our body. It represents how we react to stress and how our body responds to stress. Okay, it rules how we take action. It rules how we assert ourselves and insert ourselves into things, because Mars is an action sign. It's an action planet, right? Mars is, and for the ladies who don't know this, you probably know this. If you know, you know. But for the ladies who don't know this, Mars is men in our life. Mars is the type of men that we attract. Mars is the men in our life, and for gay men as well. So if you're a man that date men, that applies to you as well. But for ladies, Mars is men, and Mars is our sex drive. Okay, again, Mars rules a lot of different things. So, but for the sake of the video, we just gonna stick with this subject right here. Now, I'm gonna use me for an example. My Mars is in Gemini. My Gemini is debilitated. Is in detriment in Mars. What do I mean by that? It means that the energy does not do well in that sign. The energy of Mars does not do well in the sign of Gemini. However, it gets a little help because my Mars is in my 8th house. It gets a sextile from my Jupiter in Aries. Well, I had to think about that. it gets a sextile from my Jupiter in Aries, and it gets a trine from Pluto and Uranus. So thankfully, even though my Mars is in detriment in Gemini, it gets that balance, and it gets the help of Pluto, Uranus, and Jupiter. Okay, so that's what I mean by look at how your Mars is placed. But again, if you want to know how well your body, or how your body responds to stress, there more or less you want to look at your Mars sign, because this can help you understand better how to move, how to put yourself in, or not to put yourself in certain places, how not to deal with certain people, places, and things. Because I said just a few minutes ago that Mars is men. So certain relationships, certain type of men that we deal with can make us sick, can hurt us, like physically can hurt us if we're not careful with the type of men that we date. All right. Also, like, say for instance, you got a Virgo Mars, right? You might have to be careful with the types of food you eat, because Mars rules the body and Virgo rules the intestines. So somebody with a Virgo Mars might have to have a certain type of diet, or a restrictive diet, right? Or if you have like a Libra Mars, like my daughter, you probably a lover, not a fighter. So you probably really don't need to be inserting yourself in like stressful situations, or toxic situations, right? Because Libra and Mars does not do well with conflict at all. Okay, but that's just a few examples of how Mars can react in stressful situations. You know, you if you know your Mars and what it's doing and how it's placed, you'll know what type of men you need to be dating. the type of men that you need to be attracting. You'll know the type of diet that you need to be on, the type of exercise routine that you need to be doing, the type of jobs that you need to be taking, because some jobs, some of us can't take certain jobs. There are certain jobs that some of us can't be on because of the stress that it takes, the toll of the stress that it takes on your body. You have to be careful with the types of jobs that you know that you take. So because some of us, depending on what your Mars is doing, you cannot be in stressful situations. Some of us can't be in certain types of relationships because of how our Mars is placed. All right, so I just hope that helps. I just wanted to share. Let me know in the comments what y'all, what y'all Mars sign is, and how you handle stress, how you react to stress. You wonder why some people get emotional when they you know when they get stressed out. They get emotional, they cry, like a Cancer Mars. When they get stressed out, they might shut down, go into a shell, or they might cry. Some people might want to fight. Aries Mars in the first house, might want to fight, might want to cuss you out, right? So it just lets you know, it just gives you a deeper layer of revelation and meaning of how your body reacts to stress, what you need to do, your pitfalls, the lessons that you need to learn, all that kind of stuff. All right, so when somebody say, hey, let's go do this over here, you're like, no, I can't go do that over there because I know me, I know how I'm set up. Or no, I can't date that type of man because I know me, I know how I'm set up. I'm talking to me, I'm talking to myself. But anyway, let me know what you guys got. If you resonate with this, let me know how well you guys respond to stress, how you deal with stress. Do you fight? Do you cry? Do you shut down? Do you get sick? I know me personally, when I get stressed out, I get sick. I physically get sick. I physically get ill. I cannot be in stressful situations. I cannot be in tumultuous relationships. I cannot fight. I cannot argue. I can, but the consequences of that for me is sickness. Okay, as I just told y'all how my Mars is placed. So the consequences for me fighting, stressing, not eating right, I will end up in the hospital. So for some of you guys, depending on how your Mars is placed, will show how you react, how your body reacts, how you react, right? All right, so anyway, hit me up in the comments and let me know what y'all think. All right, y'all be blessed.